Legendary architect IM Pei, who masterminded the famous Louvre Pyramid in Paris, has died at the age of 102. He passed away early on Thursday at his home in Manhattan. Pei was responsible for many iconic buildings across the world, from the Kennedy Library in Boston to the landmark Bank of China Tower in Hong Kong.
The Chinese-born designer was one of the 20th century's most renowned architects and was awarded the Pritzker Prize in 1983, considered the Nobel Prize of the architecture world. In a couple of minutes, we'll hear from Elena Casas in Paris, who takes a look at Mr. Pei's Louvre Museum Pyramid. But first, from Hong Kong, Roland Lim reports on how Mr. Pei's Chinese heritage influenced his career.
Yes, Mr. Pei was born in Guangzhou in 1917 and then moved to Shanghai when his mother passed away. His father, a famous banker, ran the Hong Kong branch of the Bank of China for a bit, so he was here in Hong Kong, but only as a baby. Throughout his life, Mr. Pei never played down his connections to China. His children, all given Chinese names. And when he won the Pritzker Prize, the highest honor for any living architect, he used that $100,000 award to actually establish a scholarship fund for Chinese architecture students in China. But when it came to his work, Mr. Pei was a committed modernist. Now, none of his buildings could ever be called old-fashioned or traditional. His particular brand of modernism, clean, reserved, sharp edges, were unapologetic and seemed to go against today's architectural trends. But he said what he valued most in architecture was that it stand the test of time. His manner as well, being gracious but firm at the same time, made him one of the few architects that attracted real estate developers, corporate chiefs, as well as art museums. Now, Mr. Pei has a special connection to Hong Kong when he was awarded that contract to design the Bank of China headquarters here. His father, as I mentioned, ran the bank in the 20s. Now, many say that he changed the face of Hong Kong's modern skyline with that building, set to resemble bamboo shoots sprouting out from the ground. The Bank of China Tower was completed in 1889. That's the year the New York Times called Mr. Pei the year of IM Pei, the high priest of modernism. It was also the same year that Mr. Pei completed the glass pyramid of the Louvre Museum in Paris.
The then French President François Mitterrand invited IM Pei to build the Louvre Pyramid in 1983, the year the architect won the prestigious Pritzker Prize. It wasn't finished until 1989, after 6 years of works that were marked by controversy after Parisians and conservationists said it was, in the words of some, a monstrosity to build a glass pyramid in the middle of the courtyard of this ancient royal palace. But the construction wasn't just the glass pyramid. Pei's project includes a huge subterranean gallery underneath my feet, which makes the Louvre the biggest museum in the world. And now, 30 years after its construction was finished, it's beloved by Parisians and tourists, as you can see by the number taking selfies with the pyramid around me. Now, it's not IM Pei's only famous piece of work. He also built the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., and more recently a major museum in Doha. But it's for the Louvre's iconic pyramid that he'll be remembered. Elena Casas, CNA, Paris.